what's happening. I think I've touched some things and I don't know what I touched, but now the thing is looking funny. I hope I know what I'm doing. Hey, over the farm. How's everyone doing? Good evening. Welcome back. Aha. I've made myself like a round ball, oh, Egbami. I think I changed the camera. Yeah, I changed the layout. So now it's showing. It's showing only my head. Wahala day. Wahala day. StreamYard has changed though. What's this one looking like? Welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you're well. Welcome, welcome. Please give us. I'm inside a circle. Stephanie, see me see trouble. Maybe Ola will help me and fix it because I saw that StreamYard has a new. They have a new feature. The dark background, which is lovely. Absolutely love it. And then I was fiddling with it this afternoon. Now it's put me in a circle. Ola kini kinshe. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Please give us a thumbs up. Welcome. I put us inside circles, oh.
Wala. Let me use my earphones. Oh.
Well, me, my God, I don't know what I did though. IT.
It sounds like
IT
it's
the
your
purple
layout.
button.
Wala. Hey.
I did change the settings. I think I changed something in the setting, in the camera view.
On the
I
camera
went to
view.
camera and changed something. Yeah.
Let me see if I can
I don't know
fix
how
that.
I did it, but I did something. I knew it was showing me layouts. I think it was showing me layouts or something.
Yeah, it sounds
Anyway,
like it's layout.
it's the layout. It was showing me different ways that the camera can show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me see.
I think I chose something that I'm not sure what
So
I did choose.
yeah, you might. That's gonna be rough to do. You might have to
Why
do
live? Yeah, it's not going
one
to allow
live.
us to change it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we just might manage it like this today.
it's okay. I'll just position my face inside the circle.
That's the problem. You have to be inside the circle. I
Yeah,
feel I'm not inside the circle. Okay, that's better.
yeah,
Okay, sorry about that, guys. That's what happens when things are new. It's difficult.
yeah.
Having a new look. What's this one? There are so many new things I'm seeing now.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's probably under accounts. If you're on the main page, I think the settings you touched are probably under
oh,
the
okay then.
account
Oh,
settings.
okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome,
Thank you very much
Oboro.
for 97. We got those 3 subscribers. We got those 18. No, it
Yeah,
was 17 subscribers. We got it. We got it. We're
yeah.
97 now. Yay!
So we have to keep that up. We have to keep it
Thanks to
up.
everybody that subscribed. Thank you. We're trying to get to 100,000. So we still have 3,000 to go between now and December. So let's see if we can do it. That's the goal. 100,000 by the end of the year. Welcome. I salute everybody. Hola, welcome. How are you?
Welcome back to YouTube, Auntie B.
Yes. Did I go somewhere?
You know how to take your small breaks. I like it though.
Oh my days.
I like it though. You know how to take your small break.
It's
So
important. It's important
yeah,
for my mental health. It's
yes, sir.
very, very important. So I can have
Mm-hmm.
some me time.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, today, give us a thumbs up if you are just coming. Subscribe. Please, we are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers on this platform. 7 years is a long time. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a short video
Mm-hmm.
to market this and say, help my ministry. Just subscribe. Get me to 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, by December, let's get to 100,000. Help me put all my enemies to shame. All my enemies that are mocking and laughing at me that I don't have up to 100,000, help me put them to shame over the
Mm-hmm.
farm. Tell them we can do it.
People that don't have 100,000 kobo. Talking about you don't have 100,000.
Junior say,
Mm-hmm.
Auntie B, your disappearance is a punishment to us. No, it's not like that, though. Don't
Mm-hmm.
speak like that, my dear. I'm sorry. You say like that. It's just that,
Mental health.
we try
Necessary.
to take it one step at a time so that we don't disappear completely.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean?
Mental. They have a name that they call it now in the copy word. It's a mental break or mental day or something that people can take
Yes,
now on
yes,
Friday. Yeah.
yes.
We need it to.
Yes, we just have to take it like that because 7 years on this street, it's not been a joke. I'm telling you, it's not been a joke. But we thank God Almighty. If you haven't subscribed to Man of Prestige, you already know.
Yeah.
Man of Prestige, MOP, as Braben will always call him. You know, it took me a
They gave me a
while
name.
to
Oh.
understand that it's you that was
There's me.
talking.
They gave me a name. Oh. I've
You know,
never
I
said the
didn't
word
know. I was saying MOP, MOP. Who is MOP?
MOP. That's so.
MOP. You are MOP. Oh. Man of Prestige, short for MOP.
I appreciate
Yeah,
the love. My name is Ola. I appreciate the love.
if you haven't subscribed to MO, please do. Oh. I will
Yeah.
put the link in the comment section now for those of you who are not familiar, but I guess most of the fam know Ola already. So tonight we want to talk about. Let me allow you to introduce. Introduce. Do you want to do the introductions, Ola?
Introduction. Okay. Like my name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from. No, 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 no. I'm just kidding.
No, no,
No,
no,
this
no. I
is
mean
your
introduce the
platform now.
topic. The
Oh, the
topic.
topic. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, introduction with Tibawo.
Topic.
Yeah. Today we're definitely gonna be diving in through DV. Uh, yeah. Do you like? Should I just say DV? Right? DV is fine, right?
Yes. So let me do it. I think I'll do it better, Ola.
Yes,
You
Auntie
know
B.
your
Yes.
Igbo is plenty.
Ah.
So
Yes.
tonight, a lot of people are getting into trouble. Mostly brothers are getting into trouble in the West, in the abroad, because of DV. You all know
Yes.
what DV it means, domestic violence. So DV for short. So the point is that if you come to the West or you've ever lived in the West before, you know that your record is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a clean record for you to be able to get absolutely everything because unlike in Africa where everything is
Yeah.
cash, you buy everything cash.
Mm-hmm.
In this part of the world is a credit. It is the way their country is set up.
It's your name.
You
It's your
so your
record.
name and your credit record goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Your
It's
track
going to
record.
help in you being able to secure anything you want to buy. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to help with your job search. A lot of people have lost their professional qualification, not qualification, professional status or
Yes.
jobs
Mm-hmm.
because of debt in their criminal record check as a result of domestic violence. So we are trying to help people tonight. How and we know that relationships are very complex. Marriages are complex. Human beings are complex. We
Yeah.
are complex,
Yep.
complicated people. We are.
We complicate everything, no matter how simple it is.
In fact, if you think back to the days of the beginning in the Bible, God
Mm-hmm.
created everything in this world. But like the comedians will tell you that since God created man,
Mm-hmm.
neither God nor man has rested.
Yep.
Because the wahala of human beings is too much.
Too much.
So there will always be misunderstanding when you are
Mm-hmm.
not only between spouses or relationship partners or romantic relationship,
Mm-hmm.
even with siblings, parents. There will always any human relationship, there will always be conflict, there will always be misunderstanding. But tonight we want to learn about how do you resolve this conflict in a way that doesn't get you in trouble, so that you don't go to college or uni, go train for all these years to become a doctor, an engineer, and all
Mm-hmm.
these professional jobs that you labor hard for. And because of one mistake that you make in the flip of anger, then all that goes to potopoto. We don't want that.
Mm.
So we often talk about how it's very important for us to have a conversation around managing our emotions and conflicts. How
Yeah.
do we navigate those conflicts? When your wife sit down and start to say things that will pain you and you are so upset you don't know what to do.
Oh, Bernie.
How do you navigate it in a way that you don't give her a baju or a batty that will put you in trouble?
Yeah.
That's what we want to learn today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you brought up this topic again. I think we need to keep talking about it. And I think people have a tendency to listen with only the side of their brain that works, basically their experience, you know. So we have to. So today, I want us to really, get into some of the, even some of the stats, even some of the specifics. People are meant to go through. Yeah, sure, but there are some numbers here. 1 out of 3, as compared to 1 out of 9, is a lot.
Yeah.
And granted, men generally, a lot of them don't report the issues.
Hmm.
So there's less reporting, but nonetheless, 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 9 is far.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, there's a reason why the stats are not going to be. That's why I don't often like when people bring out gender, these gender debates, but
Mm-hmm.
women are doing it. No, it's not about that. No,
Yeah.
it's never about men versus women. If we start to play that game, we lose everything.
Yeah.
It's not necessary for us
Yeah.
to play that game, men versus
The
women. No,
competition.
yeah, no, it's not necessary
Yeah.
at all because we can't learn anything by playing the gender game. So
Yeah.
naturally, men are physically stronger. Men are less expressive. So the way
Yep.
God has created us, even physiologically, we are different.
Mm-hmm.
So women will be more expressive in a lot of time, but there are men that talk. Oh, there are some
Mm-hmm.
men that can talk, talk, talk. But overall, men are not as talkative. At least the average
Overall.
man, let's say on average,
Mm-hmm.
a woman will talk
Right.
on
Because
an
because
average.
because we are conditioned by society.
Yeah.
So no matter how you want to shape it, it still comes down to men will generally talk less
Yes.
than, and that's the expectations because of part of the social programming. So yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
women will talk more. And I think, again, when you talk more, you tend to release some of the pain that you have within you. You
Mm-hmm.
express it.
Yes.
For instance, if
It's
you're
an
if you're
outlet.
having a bad day, it's an outlet. Talking, that's why they have talking therapy.
Yes.
If you're having a bad day and you call up a friend or a family member and you vent,
Sometimes that's all you need.
by the time you finish venting, you feel better.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when brothers, men like you, cannot vent, they
Mm-hmm.
can't talk to their friends because they don't want to, because simp, they don't want to seem like they are weak
Weak,
and
soft.
soft. They don't have an avenue to express what they really feel within them.
Mm-hmm.
It always sometimes manifests in being physical.
Yeah. 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 And then also it's very important and to be that right at the beginning of this conversation that we spell it out that DV is not just physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
It starts long before it becomes physical.
Hmm. Hmm.
And all the different states of DV before it becomes physical or because it also creates a cycle, right? So some people have what they call escalation cycle that they go through, and one of the stops is physical.
Yeah,
All of those ones are just as bad as physical,
absolutely. Absolutely. I
because they
mean,
all
if
lead to each other and they connect.
yeah, if you are unable to farm, then you already know we talk a lot about emotional, there's financial, there's psychological, there's even, spiritual. So
Hmm.
it cuts across.
Oh
Yeah, it
yeah, oh
cuts
yeah,
across.
especially for us Nigerians. I like the
Yeah,
spiritual
there is
one.
spiritual one, the one that happen in
Yeah,
the house, so-called house of God. Mm,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's definitely a good one to point out. You know.
Mm, yeah. A lot of people have been arrested, a lot of mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have cases pending in various courts
Mm-hmm.
across,
Mm-hmm.
different countries in the West due to domestic violence, things that happened between them and their partners they couldn't manage, and it
Mm-hmm.
got physical for whatever reason. So we want to really talk about when issues come up,
Mm-hmm.
and how do we manage them so that it doesn't escalate. That's what we really want to talk about. So the first thing I will say before I come to you, Ola, is
Yes.
we totally, absolutely condemn any kind of domestic violence.
Yes.
We need to start from there because somebody might see the title and feel like, oh, you are trying to teach people how to get out of jail. No, we condemn. I mean, no,
I
nobody can even
mean,
accuse me
uh,
of that.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to teach people how to get out of jail. What kind of
Yeah,
jail are we talking about?
but the first point is that absolutely unacceptable. Any
Yes.
kind of domestic
We
violence
condemn
is
it. Absolutely.
unacceptable.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very important because we'll go in all type of different corners here because one thing lead to another. Again, there's escalation cycles and it starts from somewhere. So we're
Hmm.
going to go in different corners and you might hear one corner that make you feel a little bit jim like you want to defend. That's fine too. But we might push against you because we want you to also pay attention to the parts that you are playing in the
Mm.
cycle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
So, Ola, okay.
So,
Oh
like I
yeah,
was saying earlier
start.
on,
Yeah, start.
like I was saying earlier, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 9, there is a discrepancy. There's a massive gap between male and female. We should point that out. And then, really, what I want to use that to do to the brothers is to just pay attention. Like, hey, you have a certain type of power. Starting with the physical power that can absolutely work against you. You just mentioned some people have open cases and stuff like that. Some people have
Mm-hmm.
closed cases that will haunt them. They're actually closed cases. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
difference between arrest and
Mm-hmm.
criminal records, right? And a lot of people might say, well, just because you're arrested, it's not criminal record. Well, it can also haunt you, and there are certain types of background records that they can pull up for employer, employment purposes, depending on what kind of job. Like for example, here in the United States, if you have a nice job, an opportunity that requires security clearance, they will dig deeper than your typical background,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they might find closed cases, and they're not, and because of discrimination, they won't tell you. That's why they won't give you the
Of
job.
course, they will never tell you. They will never tell you. I mean, you know what you always say, Ola, that when you have a lot to lose, then you
Hmm.
got to move differently.
Yes, yes.
When you are carrying oil, palm oil,
Mm.
you're carrying palm oil. Somebody is carrying palm oil and passing by. They have a
Hmm.
bowl. Let's say this is a bowl of palm oil, yeah,
Hmm.
and it's filled with palm oil,
Mm.
and you are passing. You are wearing white.
Hmm.
Mhm. The person that is carrying the palm oil might be wearing black. They might not wear anything of significance. They don't care about their appearance.
Yeah.
Some other person passing by might not care, but you that is wearing white knows that if this oil touches that white, that's
Yeah.
the end.
That's the end. Yeah.
So the way you're going to move around that person carrying that oil will be
Hmm.
different
Yeah.
from every other person because you know the value of what you carry, which is
Hmm.
that white. I'm
Yep.
just using metaphors to explain it to you because
Hmm.
if you have a lot to lose,
Yeah.
and that's why you hear some brothers say, you know what? Mm-mm. I don't want anything that is going to spoil my life. So I
Hmm.
rather I will leave. I will just walk away
Hmm.
because they know that they've got a lot. But again, some people don't have that capacity to
Yeah.
walk away
They
because
don't,
of
and
emotions.
you shouldn't be waiting for them.
Yeah. Because of emotions. So they will just say, you know what? Spill the palm oil, Jare.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah. Yeah.
splashes on my white, it will splash on you too.
Yeah.
Let's roll in it. Let's
Yeah.
roll in it.
Yeah. We make it trivia sometimes, Auntie B, when we say, I, I, I don't want no peace. Right? I don't want no peace. There are people like that though. That they might, it's not what they say, but if you look at their conduct, the way they behave, they thrive more in the middle of chaos. If you know that you have a lot to lose, right? Isn't it beneficial for you to walk away?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, and
And
even
that
our
is
forefathers knew this.
mhm.
They knew, many of them were very wise. They knew when to walk away,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the first thing you need to ask yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. And I often say that coming to the abroad,
Mm-hmm.
remember a lot of us are not coming for ourselves alone. On our shoulders rest responsibilities, not
Yeah.
for ourselves alone,
Yeah.
not for our immediate families, which is our nuclear family, husband and children, or wife and children. We are talking about a whole generation
Mm-hmm.
depending on you.
Yeah. There's so much at stake.
You have a lot at stake.
So
You have
much.
a lot at stake. You can't move anyhow. You
Mm-hmm.
see, when people don't have anything to lose, they don't care. They will move anyhow. Anything that's going to happen, let it happen. I don't care. And
Yeah.
something go by man. But you can't. You can't be like that.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Yeah. All right. So here's another one, right? Nearly 20. This is according to National Coalition Against DV.
Hmm.
Nearly 20 people per minute are physically, you know, ABU by an intimate partner in the US, which equates to more than 10 million in the US alone. Oh. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the rest of the world is 8 billion. US is
Mm-hmm.
only 300 million. So you do the math. That
Mm-hmm.
equates to about 10 million men and women annually.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just talking about this just to talk about this. This is real, and it's happening between intimate partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually between intimate partners. The funny thing is that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when something is going to happen to you, anything that is domestic violence related is usually it's not strangers. The perpetrators are not usually
Nobody
strangers,
is
people
coming
you
off the
don't know.
streets to come and
Mm-mm,
offend you.
mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's either a parent, it's a loved one, a
Yeah.
sibling, somebody within your intimate circle, someone
Yeah.
you know is
Mm-hmm.
usually, I mean, it's because we don't keep records in Nigeria. It will probably be higher
Yeah.
than that because this week alone, I saw two women, one Hausa woman, and I think the other one, I don't know, somewhere in the south, that were deleted.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening every other day. It's not all of them that make it to social media. And
Yeah.
let me shock you, Ola.
Yes, ma'am.
The one that happened in the north, they say the man has two wives. He's a polygamous man, right? You know they have a lot of wives over there,
Mm-hmm.
and he made advance to one of them. You know how women will do shakarana, maybe because you are not happy,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you know your husband has done something and you're trying to do shakara.
Mm-hmm.
Lobaton. That's how she got deleted by the man for refusing his advances.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another thing with this one you just told us now is that whenever me and Uncle Bendo we go back and forth quite a lot, and whenever he comes up with one of my talking points, which is the reaction, action reaction, you're responsible for your own reactions, even though there are actions that created your reaction. He will now try to use that in other ways. I was like, no, 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 Uncle Ben, no. There are certain lines you cross. We don't have time to go back to the action that made you react. Now in reality, those people have a life, right? But once you cross certain lines, we
Mm-mm.
can't come back from
There's
it.
no coming back.
We
No,
don't have time to go back to what caused to what caused to what,
nah,
right?
nah.
Now, obviously, we're having a conversation, so we'll talk about some things that you should pay attention to in terms of signs, right? But this it's not justifiable. I don't like this. Let's not even smell like it. Not to say he was doing that, but let's not even like it should be condemned.
Yeah.
So part of the reason that we're condemning it is to let you know, hey, by the time you are blacking out, you've blacked out. You're not deciding anymore. Let's talk about everything that can potentially lead to this place, not to justify the behavior, but to say, hey, these are the things you might want to walk away from. These are the things that you might want to seek help for if you find that you are the one that tend to, raise your hands or raise your voice
Hmm.
or criticize. Okay. Actually, I will be doing a show later on where I'll be talking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse with marriage.
Hmm.
One of them is criticizing. You know, the nice way we say that is we're correcting.
Hmm.
Especially as men, where
Hmm.
we can't, we're just correcting, and we don't pay attention when your correction is starting to cross a line that you can't even see that far. So by the time you're blocking out, it's too late. It's too late.
Hmm.
So criticism, there's nothing wrong with criticism on a regular day, right?
Hmm.
But what can it become? What kind of resentments are building over time, right?
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
you start raising your voice, are you aware that you're raising your voice? Most
Yeah.
people that are raising their voice, they're not aware they're raising their voice. That's the point. If they were aware that they were raising their voice, they will stop. But now it requires self-awareness, self-reflection.
Hmm.
Wait, you catch yourself like, wait, why was I raising my voice? Let me calm down. I'll be back. Let me go and drink water.
So we generally, as Nigerians, are very loud when we talk. It's
Yeah.
not everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
most of us talk very loudly. So our voices are kind of on the high side. And so you need to be aware of that. And when you're upset, it's going to get louder.
Yes.
Okay. So you need to be aware of that. And this thing about correction, I've
Mm.
always had a problem with it when a spouse, especially a man, a husband will say, I'm correcting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes me feel a certain kind of a way when a man is trying to correct his wife or a wife is trying to correct the husband. I don't think we should be correcting one another, but we should can have conversations around certain behaviors that we think are not good for our relationship. I don't know
Yeah.
if I will call it because it sounds childish, like something you do to a child.
Yeah.
To me, to
So
say,
so imagine if you
I'm
already feel
correcting
some type
you.
of way, right?
Mumbai, we, I'm
Uh-huh.
correcting you.
Yeah, like even a child, once the child hits 7 years old, you need to tone that down. It should be conversations so that they can actually
Exactly.
receive, so they can actually receive what you're saying.
Exactly.
'Cause that's the point.
Nobody likes being criticized. So,
Mhm.
you know, that is why I was sitting on this table. I'm very happy to put him out there now.
Most of us men, we were on
I'm
this table.
correcting you. I say, no, why are you correcting me?
Yeah,
I'm trying to correct you. Ah, I don't like correction. You are not
yeah.
my
Women,
father.
women don't. As far as we're concerned, as men,
Don't correct me. You're not my
women
father.
don't
If
like
I do
correction.
something you don't like, because again, because of the language we use,
Yeah.
correction,
Yes.
right?
It's the language. Yeah.
Because of the language you use, you tend to apply that correction in a way that is very demeaning, condescending, like you're talking to somebody that's a child.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
like you rightly said, when you have adult children, you now know that that correction, even you need to apply it with sense
Yeah.
because what you are looking for is results.
Mm-hmm.
And for your adult children, you know that what is going to get you the result that you want is having conversations. If
Yes.
you're going to go and be correcting them, then
Yeah.
children can be rebellious. They'll do the opposite of what you're telling them to do because
Yeah.
you're correcting them.
Yeah. It also creates sorry, but for what it also creates contempt, which is a second horseman, right? Remember I told you there's four, right? So we already talk
Mm,
about criticism. It creates contempt,
yeah,
meaning a very intense sense of dislike. You don't
yeah,
you don't even know what you dislike, but you just said it, you feel some type of way. In fact, from a logical standpoint, you know that correction is not a bad thing, okay? But you feel that emotion in you and it's stinging. It's like
yeah.
feels like you're not open to receiving it. You're actually trying to receive it. Maybe you've been listening to some audio and say women should be accountable, and you've been trying, but this is the person you're having Kiriwa with. So they're rubbing you off the wrong way.
Yeah,
So and,
yeah.
and that's going to be the driving force
Hmm.
in everything. And a lot of us are not paying attention to that, particularly men when it comes to correction. Again, correction from a dictionary meaning is not wrong between partners, but but you got to pay attention to everything else that's going on behind the scenes of just your words and what we're quote unquote intentionally trying to do. Be intentional about the emotions that you're creating, the atmosphere you're creating, not just be intentional because you want to talk and you call it correction.
And there's a thin line between correction and criticism,
Then,
right?
yeah.
So you say you're correcting someone, but it actually will come off as criticizing
Yeah, because the
because
moment they push back, you raise your voice.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So what was the second one that you spoke about? Correction was the first one.
Contempt.
Content. Oh,
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like another fancy word for disrespect. You know, when a man starts to feel disrespected. So
Mm.
now you're feeling contempt, he's receiving it as disrespect, right? We're not going to get anywhere with our quote unquote communication. We're just talking at each other,
Mm.
right? So,
Mm.
and you know what escalates to DV?
Mm-hmm.
What many people call communication. That's what escalates to DV.
Mm-hmm.
They were just trying
Mm-hmm.
to talk, that's all.
Yeah.
But one
So
person
you
is not
say
receiving
one,
it.
I say one. The tone start to change. It start to get higher. You
Yes.
say one thing that will pain me. I will say another thing that
And
will
when
pain
you're
you.
talking, I'm not really listening to you. I already know what I want to say back to
I'm
you.
forming an answer
Yeah,
to what
yeah,
you are saying.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm forming an answer to give you back because when
Mhm.
people are having the conversations or when you are angry,
Yeah,
I
yes.
don't think you can have any meaningful conversations with
No,
anger.
because you're caught up in your emotions.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
cannot because then you just want to hurt the other person. You want to say something to hurt them. And that's why you see some women complain that their husbands are verbally abusive. That verbal abuse comes from a place of, trying to hurt someone. yeah, is trying to hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
but not knowing what to do, feeling frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
when they feel frustrated and, maybe you are not listening. If you have a coconut head or whatever, or maybe they are not they're trying to reach you in a way that you are not receiving whatever they are trying to say. So they say something to
Mm-hmm.
hurt you. And
Yeah.
that's where the
So,
verbal,
so
verbal
this
abuse comes in.
so this one we have to be careful, right? A person trying to hurt you, right? You should not be in a marriage with that person. It should be that simple. But we know it's not that simple, right? Now, the other side of it is that hurt people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So why is a person who loves you or claim to love you somebody who has created 6 kids with you?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they trying to hurt you and potentially hurting their children and themselves and the family? Because they might even attempt to eat your food tonight, or they will be snoring next to you in the middle of the night. Why would that person be trying to do that? So we have questions that we need answers to. The first answer is hurt people, right? Does it mean you hurt them? No, not necessarily. It's just a
No.
question.
Yeah. No, it doesn't mean that you hurt them. So I heard something a few days ago that I felt was very, very important. And it was something I was talking about trauma.
Mm-hmm.
It says that trauma will find an outlet
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other when you've experienced it.
Yeah.
Because we had a show, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I was saying, we're talking about Michael on 90 Days Fiancé, and some people were like, oh, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Angela, this, that. I think it was Uncle Beno that was saying that as a Yoruba man, he has his game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter, or no, he didn't say it doesn't matter. He just said that Michael knows
Like he was on a
exactly what he's
game. He
doing.
was he
Like
was playing game.
it was running a game on
Mm-hmm.
Angela,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, the thing about the human mind is that it
Yeah.
doesn't know the difference between game,
No,
or
it
which is
doesn't.
acting,
That's
or
true.
reality.
That's true.
The mind is going to absorb
Which
everything.
is why those shows are very entertaining, because they are touching actual real nerves in real life.
Yeah.
No matter
So
how
if
much
you
of a
say,
skit is it
oh,
or
you
not.
are running a game, it's just like, say, when we talk about complimentary insult, somebody will say something nasty to you and say, oh, but I'm playing. You that
Mm,
is receiving it, your emotions is not going to recognize that it's play. It will
yeah.
hurt you.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Your,
still going
your
to hurt
your
you.
emotions don't know the difference.
Emotions,
Mhm.
the mind does not know the difference.
There's no
So
difference.
I said, well, you can't control how these things that you receive,
Yeah.
the impact is going to have on you. You can control the fact that, oh, I'm there, I know my end game, this is what I'm trying to achieve,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And for 9 years or whatever, or 7 years, it's been with that horrible woman. He's been
Hmm.
collecting all this physical, verbal, whatever kind of abuse you can
Yeah.
think of.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
might
I
have
said
started as a
something.
game, but he didn't.
Yeah,
He had no idea. It's like
yeah,
somebody coming to America because they want a game. They just want visiting visa, and then when they end up here with no papers for the
yeah,
next 7 years, they find out
yeah,
that this is real life.
yeah. And I said that Michael, when he gets into another relationship, that's when
Mhm.
he will understand the
Yes,
impact of what Angela has done to him.
because he
That
will have
next
a frame
woman
of
that is going to
reference.
be with go collect.
Yes, sir.
Because now it's going to
Mhm.
be like, oh, I'm not going to allow what Angela did to me. No woman is doing that. So
Yeah,
she's going to have to pay. The next
yeah,
woman will be paying for the sins of Angela.
yeah.
So what I was saying about the trauma thing is that the trauma has got to have an outlet. It will
Yes,
have an outlet.
yes,
Any
yes.
trauma that you go through will have an outlet. One way or the other, it will come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. It will. There is we all need an outlet. When my brother came on my show, we talked about that. We all need some form of outlet, including men. You know, some of the quote unquote, even what we said correction earlier on, is an outlet. Sometimes couples will take their frustrations at work out on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the ground zero of what we call DV. Sometimes you just don't know when to leave me alone, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people all the time. I say it's not necessarily about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't want to face issues with defensiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Defensiveness is one of the 4 horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to face
Defense.
defensiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't want to face issues with that. Again, you're not supposed to admit that I was being defensive. It takes self-reflection to identify that I was being defensive.
Hmm.
That's to all of us. That's to all of us. That's not anybody. As long as you're a human being.
It's not gender based. Now, let me
Yeah.
tell you something, Ola.
Yes, man.
Self-reflection is very, very important
Yep.
in life. Because without self-reflection, you cannot mirror your behavior, your character. You cannot see yourself from outside.
Mm,
And
mm,
and you
mm,
know the
mm,
funny thing, some
mm.
people think they are always right. You haven't met people like that before.
Bugwani. I'm right.
And
Why do you
they
think I
are
play? I'm right.
always right.
You're
There
right
is
all the
one
time.
thing that in this world they are always right.
Yeah,
They are
because your,
always
your
right.
point of view is your point of view. You are seeing it as the absolute, even though you have blind spots. You are seeing it as that. So I get it. But yes, to your point, a lot of people don't know when to slow down from that at all. They don't, and it's very difficult for this kind of people to check it. You know,
Yes, because they lack self-awareness
self
and
awareness.
self-reflection as well.
Yeah.
So I pinned this because I wanted to read it out. Beyond Braid said it's being spiteful when we're talking about contempt,
Hmm.
using words that are hurtful on your partner.
Yeah.
And she said, my husband is a chairman here. He will intentionally speak words that will break your spirit. Now tell me, why would a man who used his own money
Yeah.
to pay bride price on a woman,
Hmm.
married her because he loved her, wants her in his life,
Hmm.
be speaking words to break her spirit? Why?
So there are many reasons. Let me just give you one, and then we'll talk. I want everybody else to tell us other reasons. He's just a weary.
That's not
Right?
an answer, Ola.
No. I just say let's put that out there first, right?
That's
Okay, now let's talk
not
about
the answer.
other.
We are looking at constructive solutions.
Absolutely, and to be,
Mm,
oftentimes because we're hurt, we make a conclusion that this
mm,
person is just intentionally trying to hurt me, and I get it. I completely
mhm,
get it. But your
mhm,
question is a very valid question. I asked it earlier on, like 3 minutes ago. Why would the person, right? This question is not going to be that snappy. The answer is not going to be that snappy, right? Why would your own husband, because you actually know your own husband more than we do, right?
mhm, mhm,
What else is going on?
mhm,
This is not to justify him, this is to
mhm,
justify you,
mhm.
that you are not crazy. What else is going on that will make a person just want to hurt their significant other, the mother of their children, right? I guarantee you the answer is not going to be as simple as is. Some people are waiting, but it's not going to be that simple,
Mhm,
you know. But it's a good question that you asked, and to be, you
mm,
know,
mm,
sometimes it's go deeper than the length of your marriage. Sometimes it goes as far back as your childhood.
mhm.
Sometimes it's hereditary.
Yeah, sometimes that's what I was going to say. He saw his father do it. And that, I mean, we had somebody here once upon a time. I don't know if those people are still around here, that said that they wanted their grandfather's marriage, that they want the kind of marriage their grandfather. And,
Maybe did you be
because
that?
honestly, I couldn't understand. I struggle sometimes to understand some people's mindsets, because I'm like, your grandfather had a marriage maybe in the 60s, in the 70s. There are some things that were beautiful about marriages and relationships back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
But there were so many things that were wrong
yeah,
in those marriages as well.
yeah.
And in 2020, I think it was maybe 2022 or 2023, I can't remember when,
Mm-hmm.
why would you want a replica of what? It's like saying, I want a phone, I want an analog phone. I don't want an
It doesn't
upgraded
make
one.
it makes sense to them, but when you really think, if you're a critical thinker, it doesn't make any sense. It
Hmm.
just doesn't make, the number one reason why it doesn't make sense is that it wasn't sustainable. If it was good enough, it would still be here. That's
Yeah.
the reason why we've evolved beyond that point.
Hmm.
Again, open-mindedness. Have you taken the time, self-reflection, ask yourself, why is it that such a good marriage type of deal could not sustain itself through just 4 decades? That was 1960. We're in 2024. Okay, that was
If it
1978.
was a good model, right?
It was such a good model.
Mm,
Why was it killed? What made it?
mm,
Right? It's a question to
yeah,
ask self when you're self-reflecting. And when
yeah.
you do enough of that, you will come up with some It's called critical thinking. You come up with some better answers than just answers that are driven by your emotions and your pain. Because again, there's a reason, and to be empathy. There's a
Mm,
reason why that person wants that type of marriage so badly.
mm,
What is it that they are fantasizing about in the 1960 type of marriage? We need to ask that question too. We can
mm,
ask them directly when they're saying it. What exactly are you fantasizing about when
mm-hmm,
it comes to 1989 type of marriage?
mm-hmm. Before I lose this, Anna is asking a question. I pinned it because I didn't want to forget. I think Beyond Braids gave an update about her own situation. Anna said, "Auntie B, could you please give examples of Trump outlets? Is that Donald Trump?
No, you never said Trump. Maybe it's a typo.
Is it Donald Trump, or what do you
All
mean
this,
Trump outlets?
all these computers are they are all these computers are they are also auto correcting to the agendas.
Is it Trump? Anna, why are you talking about Trump?
Wala, wala, wala.
We're talking about how people, our brothers will
Emotional
not go to
outlets.
jail. I know what she means. She's trying, when we're talking about athlete, when I said that, I listened to a podcast where someone was talking about trauma.
Yeah,
Or it's trauma she's trying to write, not trauma.
right.
That trauma will find its way out of you. If you got it there, it will come out, and it might come out to hurt the wrong people.
Yeah,
But as
yeah.
long as you have it, it will find its way out. So I think she's trying to say trauma outlets. What
Yes,
are the trauma outlets?
yes.
Hmm?
So
What are
that
some of the
something is gonna what you are saying, and to be is that something is going to give.
mm,
Some people's outlet starts with as simple as crying,
yes.
but there are really two major types of outlets. There's the one that you are intentional, where you
Mm-hmm.
know that you have some things bottled up, some resentments bottled up,
Mm-hmm.
and you've actually done the work to seek help, to help, because you still need an outlet. And
Yeah.
there are healthy outlets,
Mm-hmm.
for example, journaling, right? For
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
example, group.
Are you listening? Anna?
So there's those are some good, those are, so outlet is not necessarily negative or positive, depends on you, right? But the ones that are negative tends to be the one that you just react.
Mm,
You're hurt, so you just react.
mm-hmm.
So emotional outlet, believe it or not, laughter is one of them. When something entertains you and provokes you so badly that you can't even control yourself, or crying, or anger, right? Or procrastination, right?
So crying is good. Let me say something quickly about crying, Ola,
Mm-hmm.
because um, we need to have proportionality in everything in life.
Yeah,
Okay, you have to be careful, especially when you are using an outlet like crying. If you
yeah.
cry and it becomes something that is too regular, you are at danger or at risk of falling into
It will turn to
depression.
something else. Yes.
Yeah, it might
Mm-hmm.
become something else that will affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I mean, I see what you mean by, yeah, you can just let out the emotions, because I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but crying makes me feel better if I cry. When I'm
Yeah.
feeling stressed, or something happens that makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel incredibly, vulnerable, if
Mm-hmm.
I cry, I'll feel better.
Yeah.
So it's okay to cry. And this
Absolutely.
applies to both men and women. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you brothers will say, I'm a man. How can I cry?
No,
I'm
men
an
should only
African
cry
man.
in
Men
controlled
don't
environments.
cry. Boys
Yeah.
don't cry. No, no.
Yeah.
Please. If somebody said that if God didn't want people to cry, he will not put those tears in
Mm-hmm.
your eyes. You won't
Yeah.
have the tear dots in your eyes.
Yeah. God
Absolutely.
forbid, believe it or not, an outlet is self-deletion,
Mm.
right?
No, no, no. Let's not use
So,
that.
but
Mm.
the point is that you need to take control of it because you still need an outlet. There are positive outlets.
It's the positive one we are teaching, because she's asking a very genuine question. So
Yeah.
it's only the positive one. What about therapy? Isn't that an outlet
Yeah. It could
where you
be
actually spend your money
it
to
could
get
be
help?
it could
Some
be an
people say
outlet.
that they
Yeah.
don't find therapy useful.
No, it's
Like,
not. It's not for everyone.
mm,
It's not for everyone. But you can't not have alternative and say it's not for you, right?
mhm.
Like nobody did you with that. You don't really have an alternative, but it says it's not for you. Like, come on now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I would advise in seeking
Mm-hmm.
therapy or any kind of counseling is that you need to go to somebody that is both culturally
Mm-hmm.
and somebody that has your persuasion in terms of religion,
Yeah.
because those things are important to you. You are your culture is part of who you are, your identity.
Yeah.
Your religion is also part of your identity. You can't go to somebody that has no knowledge about who you are, and they
Hmm.
will give you, that will cancel
Or
you
what
down.
made or what made you? What made you?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what socialized you? What
It needs
created?
to be
Yeah.
somebody that understand.
Yeah.
And now let me tell you why some people feel like that they don't or they don't find counseling or therapy useful,
Yeah.
because with most trained therapists, they
Mm-hmm.
start from the beginning,
Hmm.
and they will start digging out things that even you have buried,
Yeah.
because you're on a survival mode trying to survive, and all
Hmm.
these things that happened in your childhood, you
Mm-hmm.
buried all of it. But the therapist will dig everything out from the beginning, because
Everything.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
breaking his house down and
Mm-hmm.
rebuilding it to a
Yeah.
more beautiful structure.
Precisely. Yeah.
So the part that people struggle with is the breaking down. They don't want any
Yeah.
breaking down.
Yeah. A lot of people are under the rubble of their own
Mm,
creation,
mm,
and they're not patient enough to get through that process.
yeah,
You know. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
because they don't
Atibi,
like the pain.
let me give some positives. Since you just mentioned, I just put up some positives outlets for those that wonder. I preach this heavy. All my
Right.
clients know this. Exercise 2 to 3 times a week. You have no idea what you're doing to yourself if you don't exercise, and you're going,
Really?
what?
Ola, I don't exercise though.
Atibi, you need to step it up. 2 to 3 times a
I
week.
walked
You know,
today. I was forced to walk today because
walk is
my
fine.
tire,
Walk is fine.
didn't work. So the car, I couldn't drive it. That's why I had to leave. I have to leave it in the tire shop. They didn't have my tire size, so I was frustrated. I left it there,
Yeah.
and I had to walk home. Ola,
Mhm.
this is the
Walk
farthest I've
walk is
walked.
fine, but to be, I prefer that you grab your keys and you drive 5 minutes away from your house and go and see some biceps, go and see some people flexing and like just for 30 minutes to 1 hour. I
Yeah,
prefer
but they're
that.
saying that no, the people say that walking is actually a very good form of exercise, better than
No, I
going to
told
the
you it's
gym.
good now. I said, me, I
Mm.
prefer the extras and everything
If
around it.
I go to gym, I won't go. I will sign up and pay. I won't go.
Guess what you won't do with walk?
Mm? We're
Guess what?
walking. No, if I have a partner, I will go.
And to me, don't get us started though. Mhm.
Okay,
If it's in your
tell us
basement, the worst ones are the
mhm.
one with the treadmill in their underground basement in their
Please
first
don't
floor.
talk about that treadmill again. I had one in my house for 14 years. I threw it away.
Thank you.
Eventually, I had to put it in the bin.
I'm telling you, listen, and to me, this thing is mental. You have to force yourself out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know, that's why I
mm-hmm,
say grab your keys, drive at least 5 minutes away from your house.
mm,
It's okay if you babysit for a few 2 hours. It's an outlet, remember?
mm-hmm.
Most of it, you might just be on your phone and be browsing because it's not really necessarily about how much you're going to burn. It's an outlet, you know, but you probably will do some work anyway. There's high likelihood that you will work out than if it's inside of your first floor in your
My
house.
friend in Canada told me that she and her husband works out for every other day, 1 hour.
Hmm.
Like maybe they do it three times, 3 to 4 times weekly, and
Hmm.
it's keeping them very fit and healthy.
Yeah, everybody is different.
And it's free.
Mhm.
You don't need to pay to work out,
Yeah, exactly.
to work.
Over here,
Mm,
if you step out, you pay, I don't know, 10 to 15, $20 per month to have access to a gym. But the easier it is for you to access, the more, like, for generally speaking now, the higher the likelihood you want to do it. That's just how
mm,
it works, you know. Again, it's mostly mental. Like you said already, talking to a friend or even a therapy is key. That's also another one. For some
mm,
people, it's art and creativity. Maybe they do music and stuff like that. It's an
mm,
outlet. It's an
mm,
outlet. Meditation is another one. Mindfulness and
mm,
meditation. Like you
mm,
said, walking. You mentioned walking earlier on. For some people, it's as simple as listening to music. For some people, it's as easy as listening to a podcast or an audio book. I am a member of audible.com. I advise everybody to become a member of audible.com so you get a free book every month that you can listen to while you're doing other things in your own category that you prefer, right? Another one for people, believe it or not, is charity work. You know, shout out to Natu. Natu is always going to Nigeria, you know, because of, are you still there, to be,
yeah, yeah.
you know, not to go to Nigeria because of the charity work she's doing with breast cancer and stuff like that. Some people, that's an emotional outlet, you know. I always say this one, and people don't take me serious when I say, go take a shower. Some people take
Mm-hmm.
it as a
Or housework. You know, another outlet
yeah.
doing housework.
Uh-huh.
Housework is therapeutic.
Yes, yes,
For some people, it's cooking.
yeah.
They enjoy cooking.
For some men, is their garage and all the handiwork around the house.
Yeah, somebody told me that they iron when they are stressed and it relaxes them.
Yeah.
Ironing, just ironing and listening to
No,
music and just ironing.
ironing clothes have traumatized me from childhood. I ironed too many clothes when I was a child, so I'm good on that.
Yeah, so Plum Rain MD said 150 minutes of moderate to high intensity exercises reduce mobility and mortality. That's just 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
I need a working partner. If you live in the UK, you want to be my working partner, please put your hands up and send me a message. Do you know what we're going to do? We should
Mm-hmm.
start a work. If you do 9 to 5, oh,
Mm-hmm.
not people that do shift that will tell me I'm going to shift now.
Voila, voila.
No.
Nine
If
to
you
five.
do 9 to 5,
Uh,
then we can either do morning before 9 when we start
since
work,
people don't collect.
or 5 after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it will give me a little bit of time before if the day I have shows. So let's do it where we can work and be on
Yeah.
the phone. We'll do a group.
Yeah.
Yes, that's an
Yeah.
idea. We have a group, a working
Accountability
group.
partner is a good one. Accountability
Yes.
partner is a
Group
good one.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're on the phone, doing a WhatsApp, call and work. I
Yep.
mean, just we don't even have to start big. Half an hour is okay.
Yeah.
Imagine if you can do half an hour daily. Isn't that great?
It's beautiful. It goes a long way. My wife and
Mm,
I we walk. We
mm,
walk our neighborhood.
yeah.
So
I need to take
and
paracetamol for the one I work today. Now my leg is paining me.
it's also a nice time to also gist. One of the things that people don't do with their partner, they don't gist.
Mm-hmm,
A lot of people actually they have a very distant relationship with the person they are
mm-hmm.
doing kerewa with, But this is another angle. Like, I like to take a walk. Can you join me in taking a walk? It's not going to be that easy for them to say yes, but can you try first? Try first, especially if you have a husband that's already hitting the ages of 43, 44, 45, is
Mm-hmm.
starting to take high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
drugs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Walking is going to help mitigate that in a lot of ways, So yeah, those are some of the. Let's see. Mario said, I'm looking at the chat. Mario says, men can pick up coaching kids or referring football matches. Yes, something around your interest, though. So if you ask me to come and coach kids how to play basketball, obviously that's going to fail. Actually, sports in general.
So when somebody is very, very upset and they feel like, they do like
Mhm.
this,
Yes,
what's your advice for brothers especially? Remember, we're trying to save people from going to
that's what we're
jail.
trying to do.
Let's not lose focus of that.
Yeah. That's what we just said. Let's just use that as number one, right? You need to find out what your emotional outlet, a healthy one, is going to be, because you only have so much energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to direct all that energy in that direction and away from something that can put you in harm's way, you and your family in harm's way.
And it's not silent treatment, though. Nobody is saying that you should do silent treatment.
And to be, how did you know? That's the fourth horseman.
Yes, silent treatment. That one,
Yeah.
it will break your relationship faster.
So let's do a
Silent
quick
treatment.
recap.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cover it more in details later on my show. This is the four horsemen of the apocalypse of marriage. We talked about criticism.
Ola, please, can you use English that everybody will just understand?
No
Which
one
one is all
understand
this
about it.
apocalypse now?
They will use ChatGPT. Don't worry.
Is it
Criticism.
this charge? Is it free?
Most AI tools are free,
It's not free. The one I saw, they told me to pay.
That's because you're getting the premium. Just go
I didn't
to.
want to get premium. I just wanted to
I'll send you the
download
link.
one app. They were telling me to pay.
I'll send you the link, Antibi. Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
All right. So criticism, contempt, right? Defensiveness, stonewalling is the same thing as silent treatment, But
Mm-hmm.
back to what we're saying. No, absolutely. That's not an outlet. If you're stonewalling, that means, remember when we covered this topic, that means you need more than a couple of hours to detach, disconnect from your partner. That's not healthy. Okay. Now you're cooking resentments, at least inside of the other person. It's not a healthy thing to do. So that will not. Thanks for mentioning that. That's not a healthy outlet. A healthy outlet is you need some space. You need a little bit of time
Yeah.
to put all that emotional thing that's going on with you.
Turmoil. The
You-
turmoil.
the turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
You push it
Mm-hmm.
in that direction, and what you'll find out with time is that you will calm down. Right? You'll calm down. At least you'll be able to start on a clean slate, right? At least you're
Mm-hmm.
able to reflect and say, okay, that person did not mean to hurt me. That person did not mean any harm. Oh, maybe I was offensive in the way I was talking earlier on. You're able to reflect on that, you know?
Black Luther says stonewalling and silent treatment are not the same. Oh.
As you can break it down for us, we're all learning. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's something that we have to pay attention to.
Are people liking this
Hit the
part?
like button.
Sharing
Hit
it
the like button.
very.
Hit the like
These
button.
are healthy options. I know people are drawn to negative information, negative news, and all that, but
Yeah.
we are talking something that can literally save people's life. Please give it a thumbs up. Give
We
us a
have less
thumbs up.
than 100 likes. Can we get the likes up to 200, please?
Oh my God, 100 likes.
Yeah.
Please, please, please give us a thumbs up,
Don't worry. Next
guys.
time we will add UL Edoche to the title. Please go and help us hit the like button.
Hit the like button, guys, please. We are talking something that can literally, I mean, these are skills that we should be teaching not ourselves and teaching one another, but also teaching our children. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got children who are going into relationships now. They are of that age. We need to teach them how to handle conflicts. There will
Yeah.
always be disagreement. How do you handle it?
Mm-hmm.
How do
Yeah.
you handle it? As
Yeah.
a man, when you get angry, as a woman, when you feel like, oh my God, what am I doing with this person? I feel like, oh my God, what do you do? When
Yeah.
you have those very negative emotions, and at that moment, you just want to do something that you don't even care about the consequences. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Just stop. Pause.
Yeah. So here are some signs, and to be here are some signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Increased irritability
Mm-hmm.
and moodiness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how do you define moodiness? It's not based off of you admitting that you are moody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you notice that your partner keeps saying you're moody,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to agree. It's time to start paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of experience are they receiving that makes them call you moody or you're
Yeah.
irritable, right? Just become a student of that. It doesn't mean you admitted to wrong. Remember, we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about emotional turmoils, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about you feeling some type of way, and you can't even pinpoint exactly why you felt that way. If
Mm-hmm.
we ask you, you will list out 200 things. I know all the resentment from all of the last 50 years. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about. This last event that just happened that made you feel some type of way. You're not wrong, right? But they've told you you're irritable or you are always moody or they can't get a word in. It's time for you to pay attention to that. So that's a sign that things can easily escalate. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't wait until somebody blacks out. Look at things like that. Like we've said earlier, another sign is put downs or criticism, right? We've talked about that at length today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another one is if you notice that you're having panic attacks, anxiety, and things like that out of control, you feel like you're walking on eggshell in your relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. You see, yeah. Another outlet is living a relationship. Working
Yeah,
out
yeah, that's
is
fine.
a great outlet
Yeah,
because I say the reason why people buy each other when is that when they should have left, they never leave.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are some things that you can't come back from.
Yeah.
Like we are saying the other day, the woman that was saying how she had to call the police because her Nigerian husband, who is a doctor and just came to the abroad,
Mm.
decided to put his hands on her. Oh, by the way, I have an update. The mom has been sent back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You see
yeah,
how things can escalate very quickly.
yeah.
We're
Mm.
talking about mother-in-law the other day.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I
He's a
remember.
medical doctor.
Yeah.
Put his hands on his wife, who just had a baby through cesarean
Was the
section.
mom illegal?
She was on a visitor's visa.
So she probably went past her time already. Well, it doesn't matter if you're on
It
visit.
doesn't matter. They can send
Yeah.
her back anytime.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
somebody else sent me a story similar to that on Instagram and said, you know what? I heard that story was similar to mine. How mother-in-law wasn't even legal.
Mm.
He was here legally. He
Yeah.
was not allowed to come back when he went to Nigeria.
Yeah.
She was stuck in. I should probably do a show about a story about that. That one is shocking. But again, the only difference between both stories is that
Mm.
this man, this brother in the second story,
Mm-hmm.
was not just following whatever the mom says. He stood up and said, you know what? No, it's not going to happen. Protected his wife.
Yeah.
And that's why they are still married. They are still married to today.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mama will be fine. I promise. If you just calm down, Mama will be
Yeah.
all right.
Mm.
If I have to choose, a few days ago I did 17 lessons after 17 years of marriage. If you make me choose, I will pick the family I create over the one I came from every day.
That's what it should be. I don't know why it sounds so alien to some people, especially men. I don't know why. Some men, women as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you say family, let's not get into it. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't get into it because we'll forget about what we were talking. Because our people and our understanding, when you hear people in today's world saying, oh, my wife will always be a stranger. My wife is not my blood. My
Mm-hmm.
wife can never be my blood. My children are my blood. I mean, it's a mindset. There's nothing you
It's
can
when
do.
I see a man say that, it's just sad, because
Yeah.
it's like no wonder. Let me give you the fourth one, and to be, I'll recap real quick. The fourth one is actually withdrawal or withholding of affection.
Mm-hmm.
Those are signs, early signs that tension will be building. Remember, another human being is involved. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just your own interpretation or your own dictionary meanings of these things. It's what the
Mm-hmm.
other person is feeling.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, they're not able to just tell you how they're feeling because they don't even feel safe to tell you what they're feeling. They're protecting themselves. Sometimes women tend to actually protect their husband feeling because they don't want to hear his mouth. They don't want to hear, okay, I'm correcting you all over again. So they will hold it in. But remember, an outlet is required. What is that outlet going to look like if you keep holding it in?
Mm.
Right? So, number one, increased irritability, criticism, and subtle put downs, anxiety. Number three, anxiety, panic attacks, walking on eggshells. Number four, withdrawal and withholding of affection. Withholding of affection is not just kerewa. It's not just kerewa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a certain intimacy I feel when I take a walk with my wife and we're just gisting as my
Mm-hmm.
concern level.
Mm-hmm.
You withhold that for me. That's withholding affection.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what your reasons are, if you do that long enough,
Mm.
you start creating negative effects. Somebody will start getting cranky, irritation. So it's a cycle. Remember, you create this vicious cycle. The other person start to come off as they are just cranky or they are just always right. Men in particular, if you withhold Kerewa, obviously, is going to get cranky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just some things to pay attention. So these are the early stages of what we call DV, right? So now going back to DV itself, or calling the police, losing your records and stuff like that, like I've said earlier on, I think we should recap on this one.
Yeah.
Arrest records, obviously they are keeping records of every event, every incident.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Obviously a police report will be made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on paper, on white paper, in my jurisdiction, once a case is closed and nobody filed charges, it's supposed to disappear. It doesn't though.
Nothing disappear. There's nothing that disappear in this part of the world. It's only in Nigeria that things disappear. For instance, my father that I used to work in the civil service disappeared till tomorrow. Is like I never worked there. But in this part of the world, nothing disappears.
All the records are kept though.
Yeah. They will find it. If somebody is interested in finding it, they will find it.
Thank you.
Remember the PI that did they have forensic PIs as well that will do a lot of digging and
Mhm.
investigation. If they want to find something, if it's there, they will find it.
If the interest is high enough, things like I said earlier, like security clearance, you want to work for government, everything will be pulled up. Oh. Everything will be pulled up, and you never know. Oh, by the way, even your regular employers, they don't always tell you everything they use in deciding. Like we know today, they go through your social media pages. They're not going to tell you that they're taking away your freedom of speech,
Mm-hmm.
but they will use it to decide for or against you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Just
yeah, go
go
ahead, man.
ahead, Ola. No, finish.
Yeah,
I wanted to throw in something
yeah. So you
unrelated,
are.
but
This
yeah.
is the this is the new one to be. They will change their handles. They will cover their face. They
How
never
did you
show
know
their
where I was
picture.
going? Did you see what has been trending these past few days now? A couple of people sent it to
Ah, the
me.
auntie
Their
on
woman, which
TikTok.
auntie or day, which
Eh,
auntie? Did you see the woman on TikTok that was making all those vile comments?
yeah.
Um, she said she's in Canada, that she's a
Hmm.
Canadian citizen, nobody can touch her.
Yeah.
That's what she said on TikTok. And the men on that stream were encouraging her and hailing her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the
That
saddest part for
yes,
me, Auntie B, believe it or not.
yeah,
Because
they were hailing
again,
her.
it looks like
They
I'm
said
hard
that
on
nobody can
men.
touch her. You are a
Mhm.
Canadian citizen. I laugh,
Yeah.
I laugh, I laugh. You carry your two left leg. You see, our
So
people,
imagine even the mindset, because you are Canadian citizen, nobody can
because
touch
you
you.
have Canadian passports, you are a citizen.
Again, the interest is not high enough. They will hand you over to Nigeria government.
They should go and ask Shamima Begon. There's a
Mhm.
girl called Shamima Begon that ran from the UK. This one is not this Agbaya that came from Nigeria to abroad, though.
Mhm.
She was born here. Born.
Mm.
You know
Mm.
how if you are born in America, you are an
Right.
American citizen
You're an
automatically,
American.
and you
Well, in
can,
UK,
yeah.
you're not, right? I heard you're not anymore in
Once
UK.
upon a time it was,
It's
but
okay,
Margaret
it
Thatcher
was.
changed it.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make is that she was
Mhm.
British because her parents migrated here, and by the time she was born, they were already qualified. So she
Mhm.
was born British.
Hmm.
Today, the case has gone to the Supreme Courts, the highest courts, and they upheld her citizenship has been taken off.
Wow.
You know what she did? She's one of those people that ran to one place I cannot mention that start with S to go and be a bride there. All those she was I think 14 or so when the matter happened, whether 14 or 16, when
Hmm.
she ran off to go and marry one of those people there.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
took away, this is somebody that is born here, but they stripped her of her citizenship. She cannot return to the UK again. Do you know
Hmm.
she was fighting, 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 fighting? Now, when the matter has been completely exhausted, she's now begging British people to forgive her. That's what happens when you think you
Hmm.
are. I'm a citizen. I keep telling
Endoni,
you,
see this mouth. See this
Ekontorayini,
mouth.
citizen. Wo.
Endoni. Is this mouth? They're probably going to get some people into all of it. Start with, obviously, it starts in the mind, in your thoughts, but the outlet here of your thoughts for most people is your mouth, you know. But a lot of people are feeling free. Freedom of speech. You're in America, freedom of speech. Don't let them deceive you. Don't let them deceive you.
I don't understand. How do people go to a platform where, you know, it's public, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you cover your face. So, for instance, because you put your camera off like this
Uh-huh.
and you
Abi, he
use a
says a
fake
letter.
name,
Abi, he has a letter
you
and a
think they
handle.
can't find you? I don't understand. So, I mean, it just goes to say that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Black Luther said it, nobody's untouchable
Yeah.
unless they are not ready for you.
Yeah. If the interest
No
is
one.
high enough,
Mm,
you will have to pay a price for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, so definitely again, I don't know how we got into the social media thingy
No, I was using that as an
for the auntie.
example,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, about how some people, some
Records.
records, yeah, that they will
Yeah.
find you wherever you
Yes.
are.
Yes.
They
Yes.
can dig up anything they want around you,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Mm.
so don't put yourself in a position. It starts early. Start early. As soon as you notice that you get irritable with your partner and things like that, and you're noticing that you sometimes you just fly off the handle and you can't hold the control of your emotions for anything more than an hour. It's time for you to start paying attention to that. We all get upset, right? We all get upset. We get angry. I don't like to use the word angry, honestly, because once you start thinking anger, is temporary insanity as far as I'm concerned. Like that means you're not thinking anymore. That means it's not that you choose not to think or you're not capable of thinking. So sometimes you have to back off from wherever that situation is. I get that completely, right? But if you notice that it's going beyond an hour, 2 hours, a whole day, as in Tonumbati Woba, when the what does the scripture talk about? Like you need all of that. Seek some help. It's good for you. Seek some help. Say, hey, this is how. When you start doing that, all it means that people can literally say the wrong thing to you, right? Even if they don't mean to hurt you emotionally, and you can effectively, like, you can subsequently hurt everything and destroy everything because they said something that you misinterpreted. We talk about even text messages here, right? I tell people emotionally charged conversation, don't do it on text. Don't send the only thing you should do on text is I love you, I'll see you later. Okay, all right, did you do that thing? Okay, all right, thank you so much. Those kind of messages, text message, anything. Some of us are good at that. Thesis, we'll write out the whole thesis, all the wrong stuff, right? Both men and women do it, right? And then you send that to each other while you're at work, and then you're not wondering, they just snap one day. No, they didn't snap one day. There's a lot that happened that build up to that kind of environment. Oh, I'm muted, Anthony.
Yeah, it's been building up. Definitely, it's been building up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
it's been building up.
yeah.
I mean, nobody's saying that any of these things is easier said than done, right? Like you always say, Ola.
It's easier said than done, yes.
It's easier said than done. I'm not going
Yeah.
to tell you that.
When you do roll for your Bible again,
Even
you do roll
though
for.
we are here teaching it now that I'm so perfect in my conflict resolution skills that you won't find me yelling at the top of my voice when I get frustrated and
Yeah,
but we are all a work in progress. We are learning.
yeah,
We are all students. We unlearn and we're
yeah,
learning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, you could never put yourself on that pedestal. It's
Mm,
dangerous. Like
mm,
we have to remain a student of emotional intelligence.
mm-hmm.
It's a moving target. It's always moving because we are moving. We're evolving. Our society is
Absolutely.
moving.
Yeah. Yvette says that employers, especially in the medical and sciences, they do lengthy, in-depth background checks, go all the way back to 10 years and more. This I know for a fact. Now, social media is an added piece.
Yeah.
So social media will be some people's doom. It will be their downfall
Mhm.
because of the sort of nonsense that they write. And some of
Yeah.
these people think they are catching cruise. They don't mean it. We don't mean it. We are
Mm-hmm.
just having fun. So you say things that are misogynistic. You say
Mm-hmm.
things that are hate. They consider as hateful.
Mm-hmm.
You say things that are racially inappropriate. You just put things out there, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering, really,
So so
really,
so a person that will jump on the internet, because I'm not going to repeat what she said, right? That will say those things against a particular group of people, regardless of what group. A person that will say that, right? I don't need rocket science to know that she will do worse to a person she's having Kiriwa with.
yeah. No, I don't think that woman is mentally okay.
Yes.
I looked at her pictures, the way her eyes are manic. I think she's got some
And to be,
some
what
some
about all
madness.
the men in that group that were rooting her
They are
forward?
rooting for her. Yeah,
Even if you were just doing that to push her, what kind of human being will be pushing another human being
yeah,
in that
yeah.
direction?
And yeah,
Hmm.
what she was doing there could actually be classified as tea. Yeah, it could be because it's something that you are planning to do. To buy people, to delete people.
She said, "Record me." She said, "Record me,
That's
record
why I
me."
told you that she's not all right. She's not all right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the saddest part about when these kind of things come back and hurt you, some of the things we've said, when they hurt us, we're not necessarily able to trace it back to see where it started. We're not always able to trace it back. Like this one, everybody see this publicly, right? But you're not always. That's why you should always be on your A game when it comes to the things coming out of your mouth.
Um. Plum Rain said that with the text message,
Mhm.
Yeah, we got to be careful because the thing about text messages is that there's no emotions behind them, right?
Yes.
When you talk, when you converse on
Hmm.
the phone or face to face,
Hmm.
it's always loaded with emotions.
I can see
So the
your
way you
face.
say,
I
I
can
can your
hear your
body
emotions.
language,
Yeah.
the tone of your voice, the
Hmm.
way you say it
Yep.
is going to determine how the other person will respond. But text message can easily convey the wrong message. So she said, I my husband would think I have messaged in a particular aggressive tone,
Yeah.
even though it was not.
Yeah.
Were
You're
you
actually
messaging with
lucky you said
caps?
it. You're
If you
actually
are
lucky
message,
you
some
said
people
it.
message, they will send you WhatsApp message in caps with a lot of exclamation
All
marks.
caps. Yeah, yeah.
All caps.
The all caps part is a lot of that is social intelligence. You might not even mean it. Some people are just lazy, but it's received that way. You give them the permission to interpret it how they want to interpret it.
There's
You
one
know,
uncle I know in Nigeria that sends messages in all caps. So I asked a friend of mine. I said, why is he always sending
you
message in all
know, like your uncle are okay. You won't be uncle. No,
in his capital letters? I said, go see.
he probably is lack of social intelligence. He probably didn't see like he just like it's an easy way,
Everything
right?
is cap, 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 cap,
Yeah,
cap. If
yeah.
you now add exclamation to cap, voila, by
Yeah.
day. So be
So sometimes
careful.
we say, "Why are you yelling at me?" Like I was yelling.
you
Yeah.
you
Why
feel
you
like
yelling?
I feel attacked. Just all this capital letter. I'll take about you. It's too
All
much.
caps. See you.
Yeah.
Shalafiani.
Yeah, especially when you are upset. I would strongly advise not to type
Don't
anything.
type.
Don't
Yeah.
type, don't
Don't do it.
email, don't text.
Don't do it.
Just
Yeah.
give it some time to calm down because again, you can easily text something in anger that you will regret. And that
Yeah.
person would have kept a record of what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
don't.
yeah.
I no longer type anymore. But earlier on, for me, when I first encountered this type of emotional trauma we're talking about, at one point, so I did it slowly. I never. Right now, I never need to type anything. But back then, what I used to do is to pull away from that because I started noticing this thing is the devil. Because before I know it, somebody take a screenshot and interpret what I said in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I did is that instead of me typing, because I still felt the need for an outlet. Remember, we're talking about outlets. I'll go into
Mm.
my phone note, right? And then I will use it to burn time. I will type all these things I feel, right?
Yeah, but you won't send them.
Uh, no, it's not sendable. It's on my
Or
phone
not.
note,
Okay, so
right?
you're just letting it out of your
Yes,
system.
yes.
But you're not sharing it.
No, I'm not sharing
Mm.
it. By the time I
Mm.
finish typing it, right, I'm like, now this is why I
You
should
feel
never
better.
send this, right? Right, because I feel better now because I outlet. But one thing I found a while after that is that I will now stumble into some of those notes. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I'm even afraid of stumbling because what if she's the one that stumbled into those notes? So I
Yeah.
deleted some of them even months after because they should not really be anywhere. But if you need that, again, baby steps, if you need to do stuff like that to move far away from that, from texting all this negative stuff, because again, we're talking about all the hidden stuff. It's not about text, it's about all the hidden things, the small things that you're not paying attention to that build up to potentially losing your livelihood. That's what we're
So
talking about.
I know somebody that instead of having a conversation with you would rather text because they don't know how to have face-to-face
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
So I don't know whether maybe the person is intimidating or something, or they don't. Some people is they struggle, especially men struggle.
Should we call a spade a spade?
What's the speed?
It's a cowardice behavior now. It's you don't, like you were saying just now, you don't want to face that. It's like, because, and it's coming from a good place, because
Mm.
in a good bad place, I mean good bad place, right? Because oftentimes when you're trying to have conversation with that person, maybe that person never let you get anything in. They're talking over you, and you in your own mind, you're like, I like peace of mind. You know what I'll do? I'll just type everything and send it to that person.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you're not gonna get away with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get away with that, right?
So the Sylvia family said my ex will send text messages in capital letters. That's what we're saying. Those
Mm.
capital letters, man. If you are here and
Mhm.
you text people on caps, it's
Mhm.
socially not right.
It's lack of
What's the
manners.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's lack of
If
manners.
you have your site, if you're doing it
Mhm.
because your site is bad, get glasses or increase the font on your phone. Don't
Yes,
use
there are
caps.
options. You see, there are options.
Don't use caps. It's rude.
It's
It's
lack
like
of
typing an
manners.
email to your manager and you are using all caps, or you highlight it in red.
Somebody say, "Oh no, not in the chat." Somebody say, "Ah, these work people, so we cannot type in all caps anymore."
They'll feel you feel imagine sending cap if there were if it's possible to change the color. Some people will
Uh-huh.
change it to red when they're sending you a message on WhatsApp or whatever messaging systems that they have.
Come on, show. Come on, show.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have questions, it's a good time to ask questions. You could just say, "My friend was going through something, something, something."
Yeah,
You can say
asking for a
something,
friend.
asking for a friend,
I'm
and
asking for a friend. We're about to round up now.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll round
yeah.
up in around 1.5 hours. Please give
Okay,
us a thumbs up if you enjoy the message.
right.
Somebody said voice message is worst. Hmm.
Yeah, just just
Voice
just
message.
just practice your patience. Wait until you're in
Mhm.
front of that person. Not only should you wait until you're in front of that person, wait until you completely understand where that person is coming from.
Mhm.
Listen, active listening. Stop talking at somebody you haven't taken the time to understand. Stop making assumptions off of your previous experience with that person, right? Take your
Mhm.
time. This is your own soft life I'm talking about. Take your time to actually hear them out and see if you can understand where they're coming from. It means you're going to ask questions more than you're talking. It means you're going to listen more than you're talking, right? Because if you now say I want to run away from that and you just want to go and vomit at them with the way of text, they will take screenshot and will just damage your family more. That's what they
Do
were.
you think that technology has really impacted on the way people communicate in terms of face to face and you know verbal communication face to face?
Yes.
Because they are all these voice notes, whatever, text,
Mhm.
WhatsApp, iMessage, I whatever,
Mhm.
FaceTime, and then
Yes.
somebody is talking about long voice. Kay said long voice message is even worse. If I see a voice message that is um longer
That is
than
longer than 3 minutes.
2 minutes, I won't listen to it.
Yeah.
As a rule, I don't.
Yeah.
You go and listen to it by yourself.
Longer than 3 minutes.
If I
You
see a
increase the
voice note,
chances.
somebody sends me these are people I'm talking about, even family. You send me a voice note that is 7 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm not listening to it. I
Yeah.
won't.
For me, it's very simple. You have to pay me to listen to it. That's all.
Because that's valuable time. I'm
Yeah.
busy. Who has time to be
You just have
listening
to pay
to?
me to listen to it. That's all. I see.
I,
I
I
see.
won't.
I,
I
I
won't.
see people literally send me. They will send me voice notes when we said they should reach out for complimentary session. Right? They'll send me voice notes. You know what happened when you sent that? Now I never got back to you because other people are paying me to do that. So you have to send it with donation. Well,
I think with
no,
the voice note one, people are just lazy. Even to
it's
type is a
laziness.
problem. You
It's
cannot
laziness.
you cannot talk on the phone.
Hmm.
And it's not like you don't have credit to like in Nigeria they used to say credit. I don't have credit. This one is unlimited. You
So if I
cannot
want
text.
to, if I
Now you
want to
want to
give
just
them
hold phone and
benefit
press.
of doubt, if I want to give them benefit of doubt, if their way is selfishness, is their own way of saving themselves time, right? And then you should burn the time. You should sit down there. Because when I look at text, I scan. And then sometimes I go back, then I pick up the details. It saves me
Yeah.
time. But then
Yes.
you're basically taking that away for me, and you want me to do that for you for free. I have to listen. That's
Yeah.
time.
Oh, actually, people do that a lot to me when they are trying to reach out to me. They send very long text messages to explain. Actually, somebody sent me a message that was almost 30 minutes. Voice
And
note
you're
on
supposed to
WhatsApp.
sit down there. Okay, Auntie B.
Although I
All right.
didn't listen to it. I didn't.
Of
I'm
course
sorry.
not.
I can't.
Of course not
Mm-mm,
now. Social
mm-mm.
social emotional intelligence. Think about it before you do certain things. Okay. This is not a Igbalode thing. It's something that our forefathers had to do too. Think about within the context of where we are right now. Are you offering the other person something? Are you serving the other person
Yeah.
something?
No, no.
Are you
You're
bringing
trying to get
you,
something from
yeah,
me.
are you bringing some
You're
kind of
trying to get me
value?
to help you, and
Yeah.
you can't even be bothered to either call or text me. You are sending me a
Yes.
voice message of half an hour.
Well, are you bringing some value to that table? What you see,
Exactly.
this could be like, before I even talk to you, I can use this to unfortunately prejudge you that this is why you are in whatever you are asking for, which I'm not going to be able to listen to, because you're not thinking things through. You're incapable of thinking through. So let's practice that, right? All of us that's listening right now, think things through. What value are you willing to bring to that table? Think about that before you act in anything, not just this voice note stuff, just in anything. That just happened to be an example, right? If
Yeah.
you're burning somebody, you're about to burn her time, 45 minutes, or you send it kele kele 5 minutes because your phone didn't allow you to do it in stretch. Come on now, guys. You know.
Oh, wow, all right. Everybody will be all right last.
So you were asking about social media impact.
Yeah.
Yes, social media
On
impact.
communication. Yeah.
But Auntie B, social media is not a person or persons. It is us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a double-edged sword. Like
Mm-hmm.
the phone we were just talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's how you use it that
Absolutely.
determines your results. We
Yeah.
don't get to turn around and blame and judge social
But we know,
media.
have you seen Facebook and
Mhm,
now Instagram? I'm thinking if not, I have to have one social media, whatever. I don't know. Even
mhm.
Instagram, I'm thinking of maybe I should just pack up and leave from there. I'm tired because
Say Instagram.
all the
No.
Facebook people have entered Instagram.
Let me stop threatening us now.
No, 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 no.
No,
Allah, they are in Instagram now. I want
they're
that.
everywhere.
What
Of
today?
course, they're everywhere now.
They are there.
They're everywhere
I
now.
ran away from them from Facebook. Now they are on
They're
Instagram.
on Instagram.
I
They're
have
on
to keep
YouTube.
running.
Sometimes they have multiple channels on YouTube.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So,
D said, what if
mm,
I am giving you sweet on the spot gist and I'm about Auntie B? What's your answer to that, Auntie B?
mm, if you are giving me sweets on the spot gist and amebo
Mhm.
on 30 minutes voice notes, no, you will hear the gist and amebo by yourself.
It's clearly not on the spot. Why are you taking 30 minutes? Why are you
You
taking
keep
30
the
minutes to
gist
start
by
that?
yourself and listen to it by yourself, my dear,
Oh,
my
Lord.
darling GD. You want to call him? It's only you that will listen to that gist, Emiko.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's clearly not on the, it's not on the spot. That's something that requires,
mm.
but another angle to that, D, it depends on the existing relationship, pre-existing relationship you have with Auntie B.
I don't care the relationship that we have, Ola.
No,
My
I'm just talking in
closest
general.
friends.
No, I'm
My
talking in general.
closest friends no will not send me 30 minutes voice note and I will listen to it. I'm not just saying that. I mean, come
Right.
on now. Pick up the phone and call me. What's that?
Yeah, but even pick up the phone and call you. You don't want randoms calling you now.
No, 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 no. No, because you're talking
How
about
about the
depending on the
friends
relationship. Yeah.
relationship?
If they
Oh,
are
okay,
friends
okay,
who really
okay.
have a relationship, then you don't know my number. You're gonna be
Okay.
sending me 1 hour
Okay,
or
so that's
telling
not good.
me.
So if you have a relationship, you just pick up, and she knows to pick up because she knows that you're serving some hot gist tea, I mean, whatever you guys call it, right? She will
Mm.
know. If she doesn't know, then she probably doesn't value your hot gist tea.
Have you?
Yeah,
Mm,
so it is what it is. But yeah,
mm.
so to round up today and to be right,
Yeah.
we've given some signs, right? We've also talked about how to avoid them. In my own opinion, the for when it comes to DV, because it's one of those things, one of the few things that there's no coming back from it if you end up in that ditch.
Yeah.
We need to treat it as early as possible. What is as early as possible in the moment when you feel the urge to complain about something? It just means it's time for you to elevate your level of understanding between you and an intimate partner. Because for the most part, we're talking about intimate partner now. It doesn't mean it's your fault. It doesn't mean you're guilty. None of that is relevant. It
Mm-hmm.
just means you find yourself in a situation that you have questions. You're not able to interact with your partner in a way that serves you, right? In fact, you feel like fighting them or running away. When you start to feel that way, it's time for you to elevate your understanding. You can't just sit down there and say, I know this person. I know, no, you don't know them, obviously, because if you did, right, you wouldn't be in that situation. You might know what they did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Trust might have been tampered with, rightfully so, because they betrayed you somehow, some way, right? But it's time to elevate your understanding, your own personal understanding, so that you can mitigate the grave consequences of ending up your records ending up in the police station. Gentlemen, again, it's not about I will never do. No, don't say that to yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where you black out. Blackout is a real thing.
Amy is just asking question now. I'm me. We are living. It's now you want to ask question. This is your question. Oh, deep gone. What can be done with a man that flares up at every given opportunity and also swears a lot in African languages, saying horrible things which will push the woman to talk back. And the next day, after you both have been in such horrible situation, he expects you to move on just like that.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. Well, that's kind of sad that you're going through that. If that's you or whoever is going through that, but
Mm,
the reality is that there's a reality in what you just said here, which is to push the woman to talk back, right?
mhm,
On the
mm,
next day. I understand that some people's mouths are no good, and you just,
mm,
and when you're caught up in your emotions in that moment in time, all you want to do is hurt them back. Not because you're
mm.
thinking you want to hurt them, it's just the natural best way you can think of to defend yourself, I'm guessing, right?
If
So,
somebody sorry, like somebody is shouting at you and swearing at you and calling you names in whatever language, you
mhm.
have to set boundaries, my dear.
What does
You
that
have to
look like,
set
Auntie B?
boundaries. That means you have to tell them it is not acceptable to talk to me that way. It's simple.
Okay, so let's keep it simple, right?
Yeah,
I,
it's
I agree with
simple.
Auntie B.
If you keep quiet, you will continue to do it. People will treat you the
The way you
way
treat
you
yourself.
allow them to treat you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Amy, if you continue to call you names and swear at you with African language and you keep quiet because you want to be a good wife, it will
Hmm.
embolden him and empower him. You got to tell him to stop.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate being spoken to like this. Can you please not talk to me like this
Uh,
again?
so here's
I
the
would
question,
not
Auntie B.
accept it.
So here's the question, Auntie B, right? Is that what she was referring to as he pushes me to talk back?
Yeah. So she seems like she's keeping quiet and collecting verbal abuse.
No, she said which will push the woman to talk back. That's
Yeah.
a key point. Is that what she's doing? Is
Yeah,
she
she's keeping
talking back?
quiet. Yeah, she's not talking back. That's what she's saying.
No, she said what that person is saying in African languages is saying horrible things. It pushes her
Yeah.
to talk back.
She's not talking back. That's what. And isn't that what you mean? And I mean, you are here. We're
Clarify
spending our
for
time
us.
now.
Because
Yeah.
if she's talking back, again, it depends on what you're saying and how you're saying it. There's a lot to that, right? Depends on what you're saying. If you like Auntie B's advice is perfectly fine, because you're saying I will not tolerate that. My own favorite way of I will not tolerate that is I walk away from a person that's disrespectful.
No, I will start with that first. You
Uh,
start. That's the
no,
first layer of
you
it.
can still talk, you can still talk, you can still
Mm.
express it, but if you're having to express it more than 3 or 4 times,
Yeah,
right?
because if, I don't know. I mean, we don't know the situation
Right.
in depth, but some people, like I said, will treat you for as long as you allow them to treat you in it, especially if they have some power over you.
Mm-hmm.
They have some power over you and they feel like okay, and you've tolerated it, they will continue. So I will start.
Look at her last statement, Auntie.
Hmm?
She posted something there.
Who Ola, the one that says that if
Ami.
content, what
No,
did she
no.
say?
Ami has 2 comments there. I think those are very important pieces of the question.
Oh, he's been warned severally but continues. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In fact,
reply same way he's saying it. Oh, okay. You people are yelling at each other. What are you doing?
yeah.
Wahala, wahala, wahala.
It's not just you, Ami. All of
I
us
hope you have children.
naturally.
You don't have children listening to all that bass going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. But what you said, Auntie B, is correct. Is how do we execute what you said, right?
Mm,
Which is you shouldn't how you treat yourself is how other people treat you. But
mm,
executing that is not, it's easier said than done, right? If you are
mm,
repeating yourself, like she said, severely warning, that's like somebody doing goes back and forth. He's probably,
mm,
if I ask him like what happened, he probably will say some kind of story around the same thing because they are basically doing basketballs, right?
mm.
But
I don't know what are you doing there then. What's the point? What are you enjoying? Do you enjoy all that toxicity or what? I don't understand. What are you doing there? You need to go and talk to Ola behind. This is not something we can discuss here now.
Yeah, yeah.
So talk to man of prestige, right? Take the number down. Let me play it one. Ola, yeah,
Mhm.
let's close so I can play your jingle, and then she'll take your contact and probably come and talk to you.
And we thank you always for having me,
Mm.
for doing what you do. You do a very good job in continuing these conversations. I've seen a few people in this chat say, good topic, good topic, good topic. So
Yeah, it is
we'll
good.
continue to
It's a
do
very
more.
good one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a good one because we talk about DV all the time, and things lead to DV. Something leads to it. So if you can avoid getting there, it's better for everyone.
Yes.
Mm.
All right. Are we coming back? That's it.
No,
I
we're
mean,
not coming
okay,
back. Yeah,
okay,
no.
okay, okay.
Mm.
So I will have
Oh,
a,
Beno
I
is
have a,
here. Oh. Trust him to come now when I'm about to log off.
I didn't even know you dropped the link.
I dropped it ages ago. Now he's coming.
Did you
Auntie
stop the link?
B.
You bookmark the link or something?
Auntie B.
Eh? Beno,
No
how
best.
are you?
I did Auntie B. Man of prestige, Baba
Natu, thank you
father.
very much, my
Thank you,
darling.
Natu.
Thanks
No
for
super
that.
chat since so for Auntie B.
No
It's
super
not good.
chat, oh. People should give me super chat, oh. I want to buy tire. Let me ask for money G today. I'm asking for money G. You people should give me, in fact, give me paper. I want to buy tire. My tire buff.
Mm-hmm.
My
Auntie
tire buff.
B.
I need to buy it. And these
Oh,
tires are so expensive. I don't know. I don't know what kind of big tire
Your
that tire
tires
is.
are probably easily $170. I said
It's
dollars.
£300 for my one tire. Ola,
Uh,
300.
I know. I
a
know
brand,
the tire Auntie
yeah,
B is
brand,
talking
brand,
about.
Auntie
It's
B.
22, I'll be 21, waiting inches. I
21
don't know. It's
inches.
massive tire.
I know.
I
I
wanted to have
have.
heart attack today when they told me. I said, what
They
kind of
say
bala is this now?
one tire. Ẹ má jẹ́ kán gbọ́
Yeah.
o.
300.
Ebi ń pa àwọn èèyàn Naija o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kán gbọ́.
Yeah.
Imagine, come on,
Na big
Logba.
motor Auntie B they use. So
I
I
don't
know.
tire. Oh.
Oh Lord.
Auntie B.
Uncle Beno
Mm,
Ahelo, welcome.
What's good,
welcome.
Baba? Maybe I know verse. I was driving to work, so I just the list. I know if you calling. I
Oh,
have
Plan
just
Rain, thank you
one.
so much. God will help me and bless you. Plan Rain has sent, she said she sent
Yay.
paper. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Let me put my paper here. I prefer paper because this YouTube only want it purge.
They're
They'll
taking
first take
30%.
30%. They
Hmm.
take more than Jesus. Hmm?
Yeah.
We have to report them to Prophet Jeremiah.
Yeah. Wahala.
We will report
Jeremiah
them to
don't
Prophet
collect.
Jeremiah.
Wahala, wahala.
Oh my God, Auntie
Welcome,
B.
my dear. What's
I
up?
just you too fine. You too fine today. See the way you just dey shine. So I'm like,
Really? Hey, yeah.
yeah. See, fine sister. Now I'm like, no, Auntie B today relax today. Man, go disturb us more.
It's because I've taken some days off,
You're
innit?
taking a few days off. I like it. I
Yes,
like it. I
yes,
like it.
yes. It's
Yeah.
good for me.
Okay. So I just have one quick question for you and man of prestige.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask this question uh, uh, in favor. Abi, how do I put it now? Asking for my brotherhood. I think that would be the best way to put it. So, like you and MOP rightly said, criticizing is not a good thing, which I
Mm.
100% support. Correcting an adult. Oh, let me correct you. You do this is a no-no. I rightly support it. And I said something in the comments the last time I tried. I said, for me, I don't do correction, I don't do criticizing, but I will point out the consequences of the action you are taking so that it's left to you if you want to reevaluate the decision you made or not. And at the end of the day, I pray the result comes out to be positive result. If it is the other way around, then I can tell you, well, I told you this thing where you say you want to do it. I remember I told you you can go this way or that way, but you went ahead with it. So let us deal with the problem now. So I just
Yvette,
wanted
thank
to
you.
ask.
Sorry, Ben, before you ask. Thank you so much, Yvette, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you,
I hope
Missy
you're all
Bet.
right. Thank you, Miss Yvette. I like it when Americans say Miss. They use that
Missy
Miss. I
Bet.
love it. Miss Yvette.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What's the question, Braben?
So
I got it.
the
Mm,
question is for those who are dealing with partners that we make a decision. It might not even be about relationship. It can be in business or any other thing or regarding the children.
yeah.
And the other partner feel like, oh, this decision you are taking, this thing you want to do, the consequences might be or that. But generally speaking, what is the best way to go about it, or the partner should just let them be jeje so that they won't sound like they are correcting or criticizing or painting consequences. That's my question.
Auntie B, go for it first, though. Auntie B, don't.
You don't
Auntie B
want to
is drinking
answer.
water.
You
I will
don't
answer.
want
I will answer. I will answer. Go for it first.
to.
I want to hear ladies first. I want to hear
You
from a
said
woman's
what?
standpoint.
What was the last part of the question again? Can you summarize it? Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, what I say is that for those who are involved with a partner, it can be man or woman, that
Yeah.
usually make some decision, and those decisions can be detrimental,
Mm,
and the other partner feel like, I don't want to sound corrective, and I don't want
mm,
to sound like I'm criticizing your decision.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
So what should they do? Is it better for them to just say, you know what, I don't want you to take it as if I'm criticizing you, or kind of correcting you. Just go
Mm.
ahead with whatever you want to do. So what would be the best way to handle it? That's my question.
And obviously, the fact that the other person is making unanimously making decisions without carrying you along, without consulting you, has some impact. Is making you feel a certain kind of way. So definitely, that's a very valid feeling. Okay, because these things, yeah, and that's why I'm always very, when it comes to gender, I'm not like, oh no, let's not play the gender game, men versus women, because if it's a man that is taking decisions unanimously without consulting the wife all the time, you just make decisions, she will feel a certain kind of way. She will feel undervalued. She will feel unheard. She'll feel unseen in that marriage. So it's going to affect a lot of things. It will affect her self-esteem. She'll feel unappreciated. So these feelings are valid. So if you don't want to criticize, and your usual style of saying, oh, have it your way, but I will do my own, which of course is not going to solve it, it will probably be for you to have a conversation around it and choose your language. Language is very, very important in you know when, so time is important. The time you're
Mm-hmm.
having the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
you have to choose a time that works for you, that is suitable, where the person is calm, they are relaxed, and they are more receptive to what you are saying. Because first of all, they are going to push back, especially if they don't see what they are doing that is wrong, that there's anything wrong in taking decision. But it's wrong for you to take decisions in a family when you are married. Okay, so choose the time, maybe take them on a date, or go somewhere where they are relaxed, make sure they eat something, they are relaxed, and then bring it up
Mm.
in a way that you are not nagging. Choose your words carefully and say, see, I know we've had conversations about this before in the past, but this is the way. Talk more about the impact it has on you. Okay, I'm not saying you are making bad decisions. I'm not saying that this decision is not good for our family, but this is how it makes me feel. Maybe if you take it from that angle, the person might be more receptive to say, oh, that's not my, I didn't want to make you feel that way, it was not intentional. you know they might listen and say, okay, in the future, can you please talk to me about it, consult me about it, and let me know. Even if you don't want my input, at least for information purpose. You know how you send some email at work, and you say the person doesn't need to know anything, just say for your information only. So can you please talk to me for information only, before you take that decision? They might be more receptive to it.
Yeah.
If that still doesn't work, maybe it's time to get in somebody that is trained to address the reason why the person is feels the need to act that way. um because there's a certain kind of I don't know, it's Ola that has the English in this whole wide world. I'm looking for a word. It's a
Is that
personality kind. There are some personality type that will make,
Personality type.
especially a woman,
Mm-hmm.
to be so she want to lead and want to make decisions and want to just do it like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not
Yeah.
healthy. It's not. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe they need to look at it from a personality angle to say, okay, yeah, this is your personality. I don't know. You psychologists know what they call all these personality. Is it what's that?
Yeah, they have a personality type, attachment style.
Is it phlegmatic or what they call those ones that are leaders that always want to just lead and
Yeah,
yeah,
like an A-type personality.
yes.
So if she's that person,
To unpick it so that they will
right?
know that okay, this is your personality, but it's not helping your partner. This is the way your partner is feeling about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you might need to, if that your own approach hasn't worked, then you might need to get in someone who is going to be able to look at it critically from the outside. An impartial person. Obviously, you're going to spend some money, but it's about the outcome that you're looking for. Is it cholerics they call them? Those ones that are always very, gym. They say they call them cholerics. Film guy is another Oloyimbo. They say they call them cholerics. Maybe she's a choleric, yeah. The personality of cholerics, let me quickly look it up. Thank you so much. Somebody has given me a super chat. Thank you. What are the personality of a choleric? Let's see. There are people like that, and women. Some women can be like that, but it's all about unlearning. And also, if a woman has been like she's been a firstborn in a family, they have a lot of younger ones, and they grew up looking after them. They've always made decisions while they were single. You can bring it into marriage as well, whereby you feel like, oh, I make good decisions, I'm good at this, and without being aware. We're talking about self-awareness earlier on. You
Hmm.
need to be aware, but a lot of people are
Yeah,
not aware.
self-awareness.
Self-awareness,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I'll say this, right? Thank you, Anthony, for that answer. Solid answer. I like that you mentioned timing, language. Overall, you mentioned making sure that person is receptive, and that's where the
yeah.
work is. And there's something here, I'll be careful, just off of what Uncle Beno said in his question, where when you start to walk on eggshell, it's not good.
No.
Or you feel like that person is not going to, if your angle is you're already thinking that this person may not take your correction, you're
Mm-hmm.
probably going to get it wrong
Yeah.
because you're operating from a place of guilt already.
Mm-hmm.
Guilt will actually kill your chances of getting your point across.
Yeah.
So that's not the purpose of going the healthy way. Is not it's not that so that you don't sound like you're correcting them. That's the wrong purpose. The
Yeah.
purpose is so that you can actually get the outcome you're looking for. We need to
Yes.
completely disconnect from the guilt
Yeah.
sense in that question, right?
Yeah.
If she's receiving what your suggestion in a certain way, like she said, it could be an array of different, starting with her personality,
Yeah.
starting with your track record,
Mm-hmm.
starting with she doesn't trust you, starting with she's just zoned in on whatever her own idea is it depends on the specific thing we're talking about.
Yeah. So I think the question is coming that way because maybe there are other things that have been tried that didn't work, that may come across as being critical, or being criticizing, or what was the word, correct, trying to correct you know
Right.
so I'm looking at some of the personality traits of a choleric.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, film girl. One of them is they are driven. Choleric people are assertive, independent, yeah, quick thinkers, and visionary. They are visionaries. So yeah, film girl, you are right. That might be the personality the person has. So yeah, blind side. A lot of people don't see their blind sides. Like, you are this visionary person, very independent person. If you are not careful, if you are not careful, you will think that I'm doing the best for my family, I'm doing this, but you are forgetting that there's somebody else. You are not alone in this family. If you're a single parent, okay, you don't need to consult anybody if your children are young. But at a point when your children are even older, let me tell you something. Do you know that if your children are like teenagers, from teenagers above, getting into young adults, and you want to move, let me use an example. You want to move homes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that you will need to consult them? You don't just up out and go and buy a house somewhere, 100 miles away from where they previously lived.
Right.
You can, but it's going to cause a lot of
Yeah,
problem.
you're going to cause problems. Yeah, not because they don't listen, it's because you're not listening. So
So
the
it's all
last point,
about
and to be to
consulting.
that
Yeah.
to that last to that last point, I'm getting disconnected on and off. Something is wrong with my connection. I don't know what's wrong, but
Yeah.
I'll say this: active listening never fails. It's part of lack of active listening that's making someone reflect on they never used to take correction. If you're actively listening, you're paying attention just to this moment, right? But again,
Mm.
if you need more explanation around, it's because we need the specifics of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with correction. What she said, timing and your language
Yeah.
is the key thing here. So don't even start with the angle as she never take correction. You fall on your face because she can smell
Uh,
it. She can smell your condescension, even when you are trying
MOP.
to use corner correct, right? If you say hands off, I'm just going to be silent and let that person fall, she can still tell it's still going to create a terrible result. Instead,
Mm.
try to understand what is the value point for that person choosing the alternative route that they're choosing. Try to understand that. That's what you are trying to offer an alternative for. If you don't understand their own point of value, where they're seeing their own choice from, don't expect that they're going to hear you. So all of that takes patience. And if you don't have that patience too, that's the other problem.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Does that
right.
answer your question?
Yeah, of course it does. I just want everybody to know that the answers are is for general. It goes both ways. It's not just men that are in that position of feeling that, oh, my wife feel I'm correcting her. There are women too who right now their husband is having that same feeling.
Yeah.
Anytime the
Women
husband wanna
correct
do
men as
something,
well. Yeah.
the woman feel like, oh, darling, maybe we should do it this way. The husband would
Mm.
just be like, how dare you try to correct me or something. So I just want people
Mm.
to know that the answer that Auntie B and MOP gave, it cut both ways. So whoever is in the receiving end should just apply all these techniques that were just highlighted. So thank you, Auntie B. Thank you, MOP. I don't want stress
Wow.
Auntie B again. I changed my mind. I be one do brother
Just
before, but
send
Auntie
your
B,
my
please
tire.
they calm.
I'm buying a new tire. Man, before you go, Beno, send your
Mm.
contribution to my paper. That's the paper on the screen there.
Auntie
Send your
B,
contribution towards my tire.
Auntie B, I know you got to drive motor we get
I'm
21
looking for
inches. I
300
got one
pounds.
like that. I got one like that too. The time when the tire carried nail, I was like, God damn, $300. No
No,
worry,
there
Auntie
are
B.
places I can
No
get
worry,
it
Auntie B.
cheaper. Let me tell you what the problem is. I can get it cheaper some places, but they are not close by. And because the tire is done, there's no way I can get it there. That's my problem.
Auntie
Mm.
B, get the original. I beg. That they did last long. They last longer. So please. But I just let me text that your paper to my WhatsApp, Auntie B. No
It's
worry,
on
you
the
go see my
screen.
hand.
Are you
All right, man.
driving? It's on the screen. Take it on the screen. Oh, I'll send it to your WhatsApp. Thank you to
Uh,
everybody
all
that
right,
has
man.
sent me super chats and PayPal. Thank you. Ola, we gotta go.
No
Beno has
problem,
made
man.
us to take it to 2 hours, but it's fine.
I actually don't
Mm.
mind this your new layout, but
Do you like it?
it's not bad.
Should we
Yeah.
give it a try? It's making us in round circles.
Yeah, it's nice. You can change it
It's
around every now and
new.
then.
It's different.
Yeah. You should
Okay,
still
maybe
figure
we'll
out why what you turned off, but I think it's nice.
okay. We can try it for a while. Faith, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Dr. O, how are you? Are you all right? Welcome, welcome. We're about to close. You're just joining. People are still asking questions when we want to leave. Okay. Man, I take this question with you. K by Onye said, please, Auntie B, is it possible to parent from a distance? And in what ways can it be done?
That
Don't know.
question is pregnant. We need more
Parenting
details.
from a distance.
Of course, it's
Hmm.
possible, but that person is going to be in your life for the rest of their life, unless they are dangerous to society. You know,
Parenting from a
yeah.
distance. Wow. I don't know.
If you're
People
asking
parent from
for, if you're asking for, they don't have. I'm sure you're not asking for that, but if you're asking for, they don't have access to their children or anybody else forever, and no. If you're asking for, you want to co-parent, of course, there are books around co-parenting and healthy co-parenting where the relationship just didn't work out. Of course, you can.
Hmm. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you guys. Please give us a thumbs up. And yeah, Thank you, everybody. Man of Prestige, Oshegoni, thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Anthony.
sharing our last link in the comment section. She said that the parenting is not from the same, not in the same location. Okay. Parallel parenting. Wow. Well, it depends. There are so many things there. What's the age of the child? And who are they living? Who is the everyday person that they are living with? If they are babies, obviously it's going to be hard parenting from a distance. I don't know. Depending on the age and what's the relationship with you and the person they are is the primary caregiver that they are living with. Because with young children, you can talk on the phone, talk, they will say yes, 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 but it doesn't matter.
This is the easiest form of parenting when you can figure it out. Not everybody has the luxury or the grace.
Mm,
Is when both you and the other parent are on the same page and you raise them together. You can also still do it even apart. Even if you're not romantically involved, you don't have to live in the same house, but at least you understand you have to be on the same page. That's
mm,
going to require work too. But
mm.
like the answer to the question is that is a yes. Is Are you open-minded? Are you willing to elevate your understanding? Anything is possible. Obviously, the further apart, the harder it is to walk through.
It's gonna be hard to parent from afar. I'm not gonna lie. For a
Yeah,
mother, especially, I don't know whether it's a man that is asking. Um, Children need to see you. They need to feel you and they need to hear you. So, because children learn a lot from observing, it's not just you telling them; it's they
yeah,
watch you.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah. But I'm sure there's. I mean, in this day and age,
yeah.
technology has its advantage. Yeah.
And children are
Ola, you are frozen again. No, you are frozen. I think because you are streaming from two sides. I don't think this double streaming works. It doesn't work. Anyway, this is Man of
so
Prestige.
something is going on with my connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's frozen you. This
Yeah.
streaming on both platform doesn't work.
No, no, no.
Maybe.
It's actually it's not that. It's not that. It's me.
Oh,
My
okay.
whole internet. I can see my screen disappearing here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm.
But what I'm saying is that it's children can also weaponize the distance, both in your agreement with your co-parent and actual location distance. They can also weaponize that against
I think we
the
need
actual
to know
parent.
more. Okay, we
Yeah.
need to know: are you a man or a woman? And who is the person? Who is the child staying with? Who are the children living with? So there's
Yeah.
a lot more that we can unpick now, unfortunately. So we
Yes.
need to know more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 All right, Auntie
Oh,
B.
Allah, take care of yourself. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Shared Man of Prestige
Anytime.
link. You have a show right after this, or when is it?
In 1 hour time.
In 1 hour
On
time.
top of the hour.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Take care. We'll
So
talk
join
soon.
Man of Prestige. Thank you
Yeah,
so
Obodo
much.
Oyibo, Oyibo, Obodo fam. We'll
About
talk
the
soon
farm.
though. I'm always in the chat.
Mm.
We'll talk soon.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, Ola.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll come to the end of the show. Please give us a thumbs up. And yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section. And we'll talk very, very soon. I hope this helps somebody. Honestly, that's all we wanted to achieve today is just to help somebody, to be able to navigate conflicts. Because this is something that we deal with every day of our life. Yeah. Mm, every day we deal with it every day of our lives. So we need tools. We need tools. These are the tools that helps because information is power. What you don't know, you don't know. And so that's why pursuing knowledge and learning every day and unlearning as well is very important for our growth. You can't grow without learning. And there are some things that you have learned, we all have learned, that we need to unlearn because they're not helping us. They're not helping us. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to be back soon, very soon. Keep your notification on, share the video, like it, and have a good weekend. I love you guys. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.